Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on Stargirl Season 3. So we got a teaser trailer like 2 weeks ago, I think it was, during the finale week of both Superman and Lois and The Flash. And I was actually not too far away from actually doing a video on that, like maybe like 2 days or so. But then at the Chicago, I think it was the Chicago Fan Expo over the weekend that just passed, they released a full-length trailer for Season 3 of Stargirl, which, talk about good timing. So we're going to be covering that instead. And speaking of that trailer, here it is now. So let's watch it.
Welcome home, Star family.
Look out, world. Starman is back.
Yeah. I think that there's a real opportunity here, Court, for you to learn directly from him.
I can train you. I can show you some pretty great tricks.
We're gonna get you on a good career path, okay? We're gonna find you a great job.
Hey, that sounds terrible.
Ain't no stopping us.
We have been doing everything we can to fit in here.
Would you like some help with that? We can help the bad guys break good.
Ain't no stopping us. We do the impossible.
They don't want you here. They're not our enemies anymore.
You let half the villains that killed our friends move in next door!
No matter what evil comes our way next, we'll be unstoppable.
We do the impossible.
New episodes coming soon on CW18.
So yeah, as we already knew, but as the trailer has emphasized as well, the August 31st return. Not too long away. It's just over a month and a half away, maybe like 6 or 7 weeks. And of course, it's releasing at that weird premiere date of, the end of August, or August 31st. And I think that's just so they can air all 13 episodes of this season before the Christmas/New Year break that, network television and I guess more specifically the CW usually takes. Now, I did my mathematics, quick math, extremely big brain activity and put all the episodes, in an order. And if all the episodes air week after week with no breaks, the season finale or season 3 finale, or this just season and general will end on November 23rd. So that's when the finale would air if it just aired week after week. However, I could see there being like 1, maybe 2 weeks break, so the finale airs in early December. It might not, but that's just something I could easily see happening. It's a more easy thing for the CW to do, to have the series have their either finales or mid-season finales in that early December area, was the first week or second week of December. So I could see them taking a week or 2 break to fit into that mold. And if they did take a week or 2 break, I could see it happening like after like episode 7 or around episode 7, the midway point of the season. But that's a wait and find out, because they might not do that at all. Now, in regards to the Flash and Superman and Lois, does this mean that they start in January? This is just a bit of a quick point to make here. Stargirl is in the Flash's time slot from season 8, so that could be an indicator of the Flash coming back in January. Once again, it's a situation you have to wait and see as to when those 2 shows will specifically return. Superman and Lois had that issue where they were constantly taking breaks because they obviously needed time to finish the episodes. So the Flash would probably be more likely of a show to come back in January, and Superman and Lois might come back in like February or something like that. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. It's way too early to be assuming things now. Now, we are of course going to be going over the trailer as you would expect in a trailer breakdown, but then we'll go over some other information relating to this season that has come out since the last time we talked about Stargirl, but we'll leave those little bonus points to the end of the video. But yeah, of course, throughout the video, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below your various thoughts on this trailer. Does it get you excited for season 3 of Stargirl? What are your favorite parts from it? Is there anything I missed about talking about, or something that I might have passed off as like nothing too big, and you're like, hey, Paige, you're an idiot. That's like the main thing of the season. Let me know in the comment section down below just what you think and what you're looking forward to. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video and you're looking forward to this season of Stargirl based off the trailer, why not drop a like on the video to show your support and excitement? So the trailer really opens up with Sylvester Pemberton, aka Starman, back alive, back in Blue Valley, and living it up with the Dugan Whitmores in their house. Now, it will be interesting to see what happened between his, quote-unquote death over a decade ago that we saw in season 1, episode 1, up to now in the present day. That wasn't really addressed in season 2 because he only shows up in Blue Valley towards the end when they're sort of having that final sort of end thing with Eclipso, and it really would have been rushed to include it there. And there could be even some loose ends to his story that Pat, Courtney, or maybe even someone like Barbara might be a bit suspect over and go, that doesn't seem right, something's a bit fishy here, and they want to look deeper into it, which of course would create another subplot, and a pretty interesting subplot as well, because as soon as we heard that this character, well, not even as soon as we heard, as soon as we saw Sylvester at the end of season 1, we're all wondering, wait, how was he alive? So of course that's going to be an interesting subplot to figure out, what happened, after that quote unquote death scene in the premiere episode back in season 1. So yeah, I'm very intrigued to see what's going on there, and I think most people would be as well. But yeah, Starman is back, as Courtney does say, and Pat thinks it would be a great opportunity for Courtney to learn from the best in regards to fully mastering the cosmic staff and all the powers that it could hold. And we do get to see Courtney seeming to be learning more about it and gaining from that as well. There's like eyes glowing and energy beaming off her and all that. Very powerful, very luminescent. However, it was teased before this trailer came out that there will be tension between the two of, Courtney and Sylvester over the cosmic staff, as we can see both of them using it in the trailer. So there is like an ownership and control over the staff by both of them, but who is the true master of it? Now, I think you would just assume Courtney maybe, because she's the current one, but then did the staff know that Sylvester was alive? Did the staff legitimately think that Sylvester was dead? Because Pat took the staff with him. So I don't know if it'd be able to sense that Sylvester was alive. It's going to be very interesting to see the dynamic there and just what happens at the end of it. And just, I guess the general tension of it. The tension might come off as a bit annoying just because it might be like forced drama, but we don't know. We have to wait and find out and watch. Now, we do get Pat talking to someone. I must say, Pat has a different look this season. He's got like shorter hair, got a bit more of a scruffy look going on. Maybe Pat, if we go to like the Earth Prime comic issue, they were going camping because that comic took place between seasons 2 and 3. So maybe he had a bit of a new look, during that camping trip, and changed how he wanted to look in season 3 as well. But he has a bit of a different look compared to what season 1 and 2 Pat looked like. But we have Pat talking to someone about getting them on the right track career-wise and getting them a great job. Now, he could be talking to Sylvester, because we don't know what Sylvester's doing in regards to money, but he could be talking to someone like Rick as well. Rick runs a prison. I don't know what the school stuff would be like in regards to Rick. Could maybe be talking to someone like Cameron. I don't know if it'd be Cameron, but I'd say Rick or Sylvester are probably the two options, because I don't think it'd be Mike. I think Mike's too young for that. So yeah, I'll say Sylvester or Rick. And also Pat's got a good back and forth with Rick, so I think Rick might not be too bad of a person to involve in Pat's shop as a part of their character. Now, we do get to see Stripe facing Sylvester in a bit of like a slow, dramatic rise. And I guess it depends on how we read the situation, whether it's Pat inside or Mike. If it's Pat, maybe there could be some issues with how Sylvester is training Courtney that Pat is concerned about. Maybe taking things too far, maybe just being a bit too dangerous, not realizing who he's training and their experience level and everything like that. But if it's Mike, then I guess it's a nothing scene, but I'd assume it's Pat. I don't know why Mike would randomly rise and look at Sylvester in that way, so I'm going to assume it's Pat. And I'm just, because we really learned in season 2 about how Sylvester treated Pat, and now about how Sylvester treated Pat, and now we have Sylvester in the present day. Does that treatment continue, or is there an improvement there, or does Pat just hold some damage from that? Like, that's a very interesting thing heading into the season that I think I personally forgot about until really I watched the trailer and had to remember what was happening in season 2, I guess specifically around Pat and his feelings towards Sylvester. So that could be a very interesting dynamic heading into season 3. But speaking of Pat and Sylvester and more tension, there is tension over the Crocs living next door, which is of course one of the cliffhangers from the end of season 2. And you can understand the frustration from Sylvester's side. I mean, these were people that were part of a group that killed all their other teammates on the JSA, but the Crocs just seem to be living their lives as normally as can be. But is that really possible with them? Can they just stop being villainous? Now, we do see Sylvester shooting a beam from the cosmic staff at them in a car park, like a car park area. So obviously Sylvester's going to go off and do his own thing. I think this might be stuff that happens very early into the season, at least the first handful of episodes, and maybe there's some growth from there. But then again, we don't really know what's going on with Sylvester specifically, or even what's going on with the Crocs, because the Crocs aren't the only ISA members back in Blue Valley this season. We don't know if there's any connection here, because we also have the Gambler, who of course is returning, who of course bailed from Blue Valley at the end of season 1 when the ISA plan sort of fell to the ground. But why is he back? I'm sure we'll find out soon enough when the season starts and if there is any connection between him and the Crocs. But Courtney does reference making the bad guys good, or turning them good. So maybe the Gambler falls into that area, But then, of course, he could also be associated again at the American Dream building where Barbara works and could be an issue for Barbara there. So there's a couple different ways they could go with this character, because I wasn't expecting him to return. I don't know if it was out there that this actor was coming back, or this character was coming back, sorry. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see which direction they go with it. Now, next up in the trailer, we have Cameron and Courtney. Now, this is something that was sort of probably the thing that felt like the most weird in season 2, because like it was just sort of there and then wasn't there. But leading into this season, I think last season sort of set it up pretty well. Now, we do see Cameron's powers sort of like fully coming out. It looks actually really cool visually. But the big question with Cameron is he going to be a hero, or is he going to be a villain, or maybe somewhere in between? I think it really depends on his grandparents' influence and whether he follows them, and also learning more about what happened to his father, or specifically, you know, the season 1 events with his father. I think that's going to be a deciding factor. I think that might be how, you know, the direction that maybe his grandparents go in regards to influencing him, especially if Courtney is able to sort of like, you know, hold on to the good side of him, or bring him onto the side of good in a larger way. So yeah, I think I definitely think his grandparents are going to be the deciding factor in regards to whether he becomes a villain or not, and whether Courtney can you know, hold on to him, if that makes sense. Now, speaking, you know, of like choosing between good and evil or good and bad, we have Cindy trying to be good, like just even like helping like an elderly lady throughout the city. Now, we do see her using her science and chemistry proficiency, if you want to call it, to like maybe enhance her powers, or maybe it could be to like do with her emotions or something like that, put her mind at ease, or mind at check. I don't know what, something like that. But we do see her alongside the other heroes in the trailer later on. But there is also a portion of the trailer where someone is sitting at the lunch table with Yolanda, and Yolanda tells them that we don't want you here. Now, this could be much earlier on in the season where there is still issues with Cindy, but then again, this could be towards someone like Artemis or something like that. I would say it's Cindy though. I would be very, very surprised if it's not her. And I think this would be to just add fuel to the story. But you never know, maybe Cindy tries to help being a hero, gets in the way, and sort of messes with what, you know, Yolanda and the other JSA members are trying to do at whatever point of the season or an episode or something like that. So it will be interesting to see how Cindy wins them over, because I think eventually she'll probably fold in with them, because I just don't see them having Cindy try to be good and then her be rejected, then go evil again. I think she's probably going to side with the heroes. But once again, Stargirl can be pretty unpredictable at times. But speaking of Yolanda and Cindy, or I guess Wildcat and Shiv, we do have Wildcat appearing to be fighting in Cindy's room. Now, you can see like there's a photo of Cindy there on the wall. It'd be weird if it was anyone else's room, I think. Now, maybe Yolanda is like sussing out Cindy and what's going on with her. This could maybe be where the turnaround happens, where she realizes that there is some change from Cindy, because Cindy doesn't want to fight back or something like that. But I think this will be like a subplot for Yolanda, at least in the early parts of the season, is this relationship with her and Cindy and everything like that. And the two actresses have good chemistry together as well, so it seems like an easy fit and easy direction to go in. But yeah, there are like a lot of new relationships and stuff going on, and new different partnerships going on based off this trailer heading into season 3. But, you know, we got some other new stuff as well, and one of them is Rick's new powers, or at least the aesthetic look of the powers. And he seems to have made a new hourglass, which he was working on last season, but the powers look a bit like of an improvement. So I'm intrigued to see how it works, whether Rick gets new abilities, because there is some abilities from the comics, or like attached to different holders of the Owlman mantle that Rick didn't have. Like there's even like the foresight where you can see like an hour ahead of, I think it is. They could add that in. Bit overpowered, but they could easily add that in if they wanted to. So they could pick and choose from the different power sets the different Owlmans have had and go, okay, these are the new powers that Rick is going to have because of this new hourglass that he's made. And, you know, Rick's a smart dude, so I'm expecting quite an improvement. And just based off the aesthetic look here, it seems like there's quite an improvement. But yeah, the trailer does finish off with us seeing Courtney as Stargirl, of course, looking all like Super Saiyan. And it just seems like everyone is upgrading in some way, whether that's in power level or just the next stage of who they are as a person. So if they're showing all of this in the trailer, I'm excited to see what's going to happen in the actual season. And of course, we didn't see a bunch of characters, you know, from the show in the trailer. We didn't see Jakeem or anything like that as well. And you know, a few other characters as well. So yeah, they could be hiding some other improvements as well, and just wanted to show the ones that they're pretty comfortable in showing us now. But yeah, that's the end of the trailer, but there are some other things which I did say earlier in the video that we would go over. So one of the big things is that we did have a recast in between seasons, but it's not at a physical level, if that makes sense. It's not actually one of the actors who's on screen. It's actually a voice actor. So Seth Green, who you know from like Robot Chicken, Austin Powers, you know, all that, like I guess the Scooby-Doo 2 movie. He's replacing, or Buffy, I guess, he's replacing Jim Gaffigan as the voice of Thunderbolt. And when I think about it, I think Seth Green is actually a better voice for it. I'm not too sure what happened with Jim Gaffigan. Maybe he just said he was going to be too busy, not going to be able to record the voice or anything like that. Not too sure what happened, but yeah, Seth Green is replacing Jim Gaffigan as the voice. There's no hint at it in the trailer, so I guess we'll have to wait till the actual episodes to hear what he sounds like as Thunderbolt. Now, the theme for season 3 is a murder mystery, while also dealing with heroes and villains living side by side, to solve the murder. So this makes you wonder whether there is obviously there's going to be a murder, but that's why Sylvester is so angry at Pat about living next to the Crocs, because maybe he suspects that they're the ones that did it. So obviously there's some sort of murder in Blue Valley. Going to be interesting to see who the murderer was. And maybe that's why we're getting people like the Gambler coming back in to raise the suspect list in regards to who it could have been. So you have the Gambler, maybe you have Cindy, then you have the Crocs, then you have maybe even one of the heroes, maybe like Pat himself is charged with it or something along those lines. So I love a murder mystery when it's done well, and based off everything that Stargirl's done in the past, I'd expect it to be done well as well. But I'm also interested in the dynamic between, you know, the heroes and villains coming together to solve that murder and trying to cancel out who it could have been, because obviously the villains are going to be on high on the suspect list. And finally, The Shade, Jenny Lynn Hayden, or Jade, and Jakeem, I mentioned Jakeem earlier, they're all returning for season 3, even though you don't see them in the trailer. Now, Jakeem you would have easily assumed, and The Shade also appeared to be returning in season 3 based off the end of season 2's finale. But people did doubt that Jenny or Jade would be coming back, but of course, they did cast Todd Rice, her brother, so it would, you know, been weird not to have her in the season. Now, there's no, you know, ties to the cliffhanger from last season with Mr. Bones or anything like that, but that's because that's probably going to be stuff that gets revealed a handful of episodes in, and it seems like most of this footage from the trailer would have been from like the first 2, maybe 3 episodes, if we're lucky, if we even got that far. So that's why there wouldn't be too much footage of that side of the story, because they're not going to just show everything in this trailer, you know what I mean? But based off everything they did show us in the trailer, I'm looking forward to this season. I think I can say that. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like and to show support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions about everything we went over in the video, your thoughts on the trailer, everything like that, what you're looking forward to the most. Always curious to read it. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.